Shalom, all praises to Yakalba Page and double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone by Shem Quadash. My name is Yakalba from Plain Tables Camp in Philly. And it says on, Esau throwing stumbling blocks, bones, where you'll get confused if you don't have the spirit. And this is why they paid a lot of money to confuse people onto the bloodlines and the true identity of the Israelites. So I'm just gonna play this real quick.
Statements?
But it's statements you think you should be walking back? I mean, considering...
What do you mean walking back?
Well, backing up off of them. I mean, the thing is, you've lost a lot of endorsements. People are dropping you. You're getting, vilified. I mean, you might think you're right, but I think, there's a whole world out there that's condemning you for what you said.
Okay, so this right here is a chart of Universal Studios, 20th Century Fox, ABC News, CBS News, DreamWorks Animation. Now, the thing is, I skipped over maybe about 5 of them because it was just unclear on this list. The red are the executives that are Jewish at these companies. Do you regret your statements?
All right, so obviously I've seen that clip before. So, in other words, they've paid a lot of money to hide who the biblical Israelites are, and they've put bones, within their dictionaries to confuse and throw off the scent, and to do controlled opposition to find out who. So it will be very difficult, nearly impossible, to find out who the biblical Israelites are, because when you research the current small hats, there's no way they can be the descendants from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. All right. In fact, they're descendants of Abraham, Isaac, and Esau, Edom, and they don't like when you say that. All right. They're not the biblical Israelites. It clearly tells you that the biblical Israelites were going to be poor. They were going to be in captivity amongst all nations and dwelling amongst the heathen, and that there was going to be a small remnant that were going to return. All right. So my point here is to show you the bones they put in. All right, and give you some precepts that overcome those bones. It's H726. Arawamya. Arawamya. Yeah. Arawamya. All right. And sometimes when you see this, it's translated as Adawam instead of Arawam. All right. Adawam means Edom. All right. What I says down here, that's Ara. That's a Ra. This means Syrian here. All right. But here it's translated, when you look up Syrian sometimes, it'll be translated as Adawam or Adamya. All right, which they say that means Edom, which it doesn't. It means it's Adam. All right. Adawam means Esau. Well, not Esau. It means Edom. All right. So the point here is that it's a clerical error. All right. It should say Arawam. It shouldn't say Adamya. All right. It should say Arawam, which means Syrian. All right. It doesn't mean Edomite. All right. So that's some of the bones that you'll find when you read the scriptures, and that's just to throw you off. This is why only a certain group of studious individuals can come into the faith, because you don't. Most people take when they see something, they just take it literally, and if there's one thing wrong, they'll just say, "Well, inconclusive," or "We can't." "Oh, I don't know. I don't know who to believe." Well, this overcoming this proves that you are of the elect. All right. So let's go down here, make it a little more clearer. So right here it says Ara Wam Yam. That's what's supposed to be there. And this right here, it says Adawam Yam. Now this is a duh, which makes this Edom. All right. And this would be Edom, the one on the bottom. Hope we can see that, which stands for. All right. And one up top here is Arawamyam. That means Syrian or Syria. All right. So it's supposed to read Syrians. It's not supposed to read Edom. All right. So it says a clerical error for H130, an Edomite, as in the margin. Let's see, look up. And we look here at H130. Right here, he says Adam Yah, which that's not the word that's supposed to be there. What they're attempting to do is they're trying to reduce it down to Adam, which Adam means of the earth, out of the soil. It doesn't mean Edomite. All right, so they try to merge the two together. That's the same thing. They try to merge ruddy with being a pale red skin. Ruddy and pale red skin are not the same. They're not synonymous words. So Adam, Yah, Adam, they'll try to make it mean red, which the proper word for red is Adawam. All right. So you look down. This means red. It says Adawam Yam. The Edomites. All right. That means red. All right. Not Adam. See, they merged the two. They're two different meanings. All right. So if you don't have the understanding, you'll get confused, especially when you start getting deep into the scriptures. All right. It's more than a clerical error. It's a direct lie, a direct injection to throw off the scent of who and what the Israelites look like. All right, Edom. They say Adam means Edom. Adam and Edom are two totally different words. All right, so you have to know the Hebrew, or you'll get confounded when somebody come up to you, a high level guy. There's nobody high level really to us anymore. But if you new to the faith and you don't know this, they'll confound you, and you'll be sitting there looking stupid. All right, there's a distinct difference between Aram, which means Syrian, Assyria, Aram. Then we have here Adawamyam, which means Edom. And then you have Adam, okay, which means earth, taken from the earth man, soil. All right, there's different shades of brown. That goes back to Genesis, 2nd chapter, where it says man was taken out of the dust of the ground. All right, or the Lord God planted a garden eastward in Eden. All right, so we're gonna go to that next. All right, so now you got the full understanding on the differences and what that means. Then you go to Genesis 2nd chapter. It says, out of the ground. Oh, no, should be Genesis 2:7. And Yahweh formed man of the dust of the ground and breathed into his nostrils the breath of life. And man became a living soul. Look up ground. We got Adama. This goes back to Adam. All right, they say from its general redness, So they say that the earth is red. All right, so it's not a clerical error. This is a direct lie. So this is Adama. All right, which that's how to say it means Edom. It means red. These are two different words: ground, land, substance. All right, why? Because they've paid a lot of money, a lot of billions of dollars, and they set up organizations and bureaucracies around trying to keep you from the truth. And then they put like obvious lies in there, and if you're not studious, you'll be confused. If you don't know the Hebrew, you don't recognize these characters, you're gonna be confused. It says Adama, Adama. It says soil from its general redness. So general means what? Affecting, concerning all or most people, places, or things widespread. So basically they're saying that the soil of the earth is mostly red. All right. Let's go on this a little bit more. Now it said dust. This means dry earth, dust, powder, ashes, earth, ground, mortar, rubbish, dry or loose earth. All right, so you should be able to go into the earth and pull it out, and and smooth it around, crush it with your hands. The dirt, all right, debris, not rock. All right, it's rubbish, dust. So soil. So you should be able to dig your hands in the earth, pull it out because it's loose, right? And you should be able to get red earth, all right, from its general redness. So it's a direct lie, affecting or concerning all or most people. So it's a 51%, but more than 51%. They're saying like 75%. All right, now let's look up what does the earth look like. I typed it in. I typed in how much red soil is in the earth. It says 13%. So 13% is not 51%. All right, even though the majority of the earth, I would say so. Wow. There you go. At least what, 87% of the earth is different shades of brown, the sand colors. All right, I think I'll pull another one up. Also, then I typed in red soil Wikipedia. It typically develops in warm temperatures. What did I say here? Red soils are an important resource because they make up a large portion of farmland on the earth in countries such as China, India, and Greece, where there are large amounts of red soil. Understanding the properties are critical to successful agriculture. Let's go down. And so these are the lands where red soil exists. All right, but it's only 13% of the earth. All right, so it's not general, meaning mostly. Red soils include multiple soils, ultrasoils. There's different classifications and are classified as red soils when they develop a distinct reddish color, which can vary from reddish brown to reddish yellow due to their high iron content. In general, red soils possess some characteristics of good growing. They are typically acidic soils, which can be positive for agriculture, but in the case often causes a lack of sufficient nutrients. These soils are also prone to frequent drought in drier regions. All right, so that's the red soil. Soil fertility and management practices. Red soils are typically difficult crop cultivation because high latching leads to low water holding capacity, low nutrients, low organic matter, humus, and acidification, acid. Fluctuations in the concentration of iron within red soils are found to have significant implications on its fertility and growth properties. the fertility of red soils can be improved with various farming techniques. All right. So you can make stuff grow in red soil, but it's typically not good. You have to alter, the composition to make things grow. All right. So that is incorrect. That the earth is generally red. All right. So I think I put in. So what color is earth? Soil. All right, so we got grays, blacks, whites, reds, browns, yellows, and greens. It was a chart that I saw. All right, what color is soil? So there you go. You know what Esau say? For its general redness. All right, meaning that the loose debris, the top layer of soil, and the organic matter is generally red. All right, so to prove the atom definition. All right. It says soil color is determined by mineral composition, element concentration, organic matter, and moisture content. It reflects soil properties and soil process, and it is an important diagnostic feature for soil horizon delineation and soil classification. Soil color has been described on both dry and moist soil samples by comparing its color with the Munsell color chart. The Munsell color system describes a soil color using 3 attributes: hue and base color, 10YR, 5YR. The lightness range from black to 10 white, and chroma. Chroma is color. The color intensity and saturation. All right, so that's the nutrient content determines the color. All right. All right, so according to Esau, the earth is mostly red. All right, so when you see red, you'll start seeing iron, all right, which you have to use certain practices to aid in the nutrient. You have to put nutrients into the ground in these red soils, all right, to get your crops to yield the proper increase. All right, we got organic matter, humus, topsoil layer, alveolean layer. I'm pronouncing it wrong. All right, so there you go. So you can't agree with that definition. From its general redness, I completely disproved that. Earth is not generally red, so that's a direct lie. All right, so Adama doesn't mean red. Adama means black or colored. All right, or dark skinned. Well, not really skinned, but dark. Earth looking, soil looking. All right, I'll put another one in. You know, our mind runs on pictures. All right. Let's see. So Lord God planted a garden, eastward in Eden. Not garden. So I knew what I was gonna say. All right. Knew what I was going to say. All right. So earth mostly red. So I don't know. And remember that some of these definitions are used specifically to throw you off on what the Lord's people really look like. All right. All right, we gotta move on. So, point is pretty much made. That's a complete lie. The earth is mostly different shades of brown, black, yellow, even actually, gray. So, we're just gonna move on to its icons. Well, no, Ham, the youngest son of Noah, born probably about 96 years before the flood, and one of 8 persons to survive, and one of 8 persons to live through the flood. He became the progenitor of the dark races, meaning dark brown melanated or light brown melanated peoples. All right, which is everybody really, but not the Negroes and the so-called blacks, Latinos, Native Americans will be considered under the Negroes. All right. Not the Negroes. So the Negroes, us, my people, do not come. We're not Hamites. All right. That's that. This is, I believe, David or Peter, Paul, Angel. I think it might be Gabriel, and Mary. All right. As you can see, they're not red. They're not mostly red. The earth from its general redness. All right. So that's just a lie. So they took the word Adama, which means earth, ground. Then they put in the earth from its general redness, because it's mostly, the earth is mainly red. All right. Crown. What else we got here? Earth, ground. Yeah. So then you click on it, says go back to. Then they say Adam. Which you can say Adam means ruddy. All right, but it doesn't mean red though. Red and ruddy are 2 different words. All right. It translates as red. So they're trying to condition your mind to think that Adam means red. All right, so we're going to put Adam in. See the first time it shows up. 219. So it was 120. Adam. The first man. It says one that is red. So the Arabs distinguish 2 races of men, one red. All right. Red and ruddy don't mean the same thing, which we call white. So, or the other black. So they're basically saying that if you're red and ruddy, it's white, and the other is black. So that proves that they're lying, because they said Adama means red from the earth's general redness. All right, from the earth's general redness. So color chart. The earth's general redness. All right. So they said Adam means red. That's what they're saying. And the proof they have is the earth is generally red, meaning mostly, affecting most people and places. General. All right. Which we call white. And then, but they weren't white until was like the 1500s. That's when they created the term white as referencing a person, like a race of people or a group of people being white. That's a new term. All right, so again, this like kind of breaking the strongholds, where it says Adam which proves that when they're writing these definitions for these dictionaries, all right, not everything, just what I'm talking about here, and some other things, well, a lot of other things, that they're using new definitions, all right, because white as a race wasn't created until like the 1500s or the 1600s. I know one date is 1681. White race 1681. How white people were invented by playwright 1613. So it's different. Says the Jacobean playwright Thomas Middleton invented the concept of white people on the 29th October 1613, the date that his play The Triumphants of Truth was first performed. The phrase was first uttered by the character of an African king who looks out upon an English audience and declares, "I see amazing set upon the faces of these white people." The word rang in strange gazes. As far as I and others have been able to tell, Middleton's play is the first printed example of a European author referring to fellow Europeans as white people. Hope you can see that. This is eon.co. Donate now. Middleton's play is... I see the amazing faces of these white people. All right, so you can't say this is an ancient, but on red. I see amazing set upon the faces of these white people. A year later, English commander John Rifle of Jamestown, Virginia, took as his bride an Algonquian princess named Matoaka, whom we call Pocahontas. The literary critic Christopher Hawkins reported that King James I was at first perturbed when he learned of the marriage, but when he was not out, and well, King James was a so-called black man. All right, but this was not out of fear of miscegenation, the interbreeding of peoples. James' reluctance, Hawkins explained, was because Rolfo, a commander, had, without his sovereign permission, wed the daughter of a foreign princess. King James was not worried about the pollution of Rolfo's line. Right. Well, because King James was a so-called black man, so that's not that important here. Well, I guess you can say it's important. There's white history. What did I put in? White creation, 1681. Do one more. White. There's another one. So 1613. All right. White History Month, day 13. White people were invented, 1681. So we got 1613. We got 1681. This may sound shocking, surely. White people inhabited countries across Europe for hundreds, if not thousands of years, right? The idea to create white people, a group distinct European nationals, together into a single group had not been done until 1681. All right, what happened in 1681 to cause colonial lawmakers to create classifications of people who had never considered themselves a group? What inspired them to invent white people? White people were invented in 1681. All right, so yeah, there we go. It's a lot there. So It says all free men in colonial America had the same opportunities as a matter of law. African men could vote, and they did. They could own slaves, and they did. They could marry someone of the opposite sex, and they did. Jacqueline Botolora. All right. I don't know how true that is. They could vote. I guess if they were free, this was a thing. But if you were a bondman, you couldn't vote. In 1619, 1620, the odd Angolians arrived in Virginia by the way of Portuguese slavers. This is the first known instance of African slaves in British colonies. At the time were about 700 or so Europeans living in the colony of Virginia. The distinction between slaves and indentured servants was muddled, as the colonies hadn't yet formalized slavery into law. Some men who were African born or who were of African descent became freemen. Some purchased their freedom, completed their indenture, or were freed via the will of their deceased owner. Yeah, so it was like the wild west. It wasn't a law, and then they started formalizing it. Then certain persecutions, and then examples were made to control and subjugate. So it was planned and organic. The slavery, indenture, or bond. Right. In 1664, Maryland passed a law making it illegal for English women to marry slaves of African descent. So yeah, it was like, I would say that'd be like organic. They started seeing certain problems would come up. So let's say with mixed people, say black men or whatever. I said, no, we got to stop this. And then freeborn foresight. So it says Maryland's miscegenation. Law in 1681 punished or prohibited marriage between a white person and a specific non-white person. So maybe, this law was created to stop interracial marriage. That's why they classify themselves as white. All right. So 1681, 1613. All right, when the Bible was written, 5,000 plus years before that, before 1681. So you can't say white means you're red. So Esau, you're easy, man. You're easy. The Arabs distinguish two races of men. One red, which we call white. There was no concept of a white race. Okay, let's say during 100 AD, 300 AD, 450 AD, there was no concept of a white race. Saying red means you're a white person is a new concept that at least started in 1613, all right, and was put into law in 1681. All right. It says, but both races are sprung from Adam. It is neither a state of plural form, but often used. All right. That's the main point there. I say show less. Can we do that? You can just read. All right. All right. So yeah, this definition is wrong. There was no. The Arabs didn't call pale-faced people white people. All right. They called them either pale-faced, red. All right. If they were describing what they look like. All right. Edomites. Yeah, because Edomites were red. Now, ruddy, we look up ruddy, it means color. It means light brown skinned. All right. That's ruddy. So I'll put ruddy animals in. So it doesn't mean, there's a difference between being ruddy and being red/pale. All right, this is red all over, like a robe. All right. All right, that's red all over, meaning they lack the soil color. All right. And Esau has mixed himself with all the peoples, all the nations, including Israelites. So, if an Israelite takes an Edomite woman, a pale-faced woman, then if the Israelite takes a pale-faced woman, then the child's gonna come out more fair skinned. All right, and they may come out looking ruddy in a sense. All right. Now, ruddy also can be used poetically too. All right, to just mean beautiful. All right, but that's ruddy. It just means a lighter version of a brown person. All right, just different. All right, because sometimes when by contrast something looks beautiful because it sticks out. All right. So that's ruddy. It just means a lighter brown skin. All right, like red bone. Red bone. This means a lighter brown skin. All right. All right, we'll close it here. So this is St. Nicholas and Constantine. All right. So according to Esau, from the earth's general redness, which is a damn lie, and I've proven it beyond a shadow of any doubt. So if you can't get it from here, you're spiritually discerned. I mean, you lack the comprehension to put the pieces together. If Esau throw a bone, it's somewhere. You got to do the research and figure it out, and that's why we're here. So I'll quickly go over this. This is Constantine right here. All right, as you see, he's a brown man. Okay, not mostly red, like the earth. Like they say the earth is mostly red, which is a damn lie, which I prove beyond a shadow of any doubt. All right. On the left side, you see Nicodemus' father. Nicodemus. St. Nicholas is a child. That's his uncle. That's a priest. All right. That's the father. That's the mother. As you can see, the women have their hair covered, and she appears to be in order. All right, because the head covering is a representation of you being under the authority of your husband. All right. All right, and this is Nicodemus as he got older. St. Nicholas as he got older. All right. And this is a dream that King Constantine is having, Emperor Constantine. He's having a dream that he wants St. Nicholas to come to him and help him. And St. Nicholas saving the young man. St. Nicholas here with the crosses. So the point is that the church fathers, the original church fathers, were people of color. They were Israelites that were scattered in Europe and in the East. And again, it's either Peter or Paul, Angel, and you got Mary, I believe, right here. All right, so that's it. Strongholds, the bones. You have to know the Hebrew, know when there's the clerical errors and just direct lies. All right. Adam means soil, loose debris of soil. All right. You look up the color of the earth. So if Esau says that the earth from its general redness, the loose earth right there, like, then you should know that that's a damn lie. And if they try to say, well, two classifications of men, one red and one black. So Esau admits that he's red. The Arabs distinguish two races of men, one red and other black. So that can be right. But look how Satan is. Then he'll throw ruddy in there. Ruddy and red are two different ones. Ruddy just means light brown, or not your typical dark brown skinned man, or typical black brown skinned man. All right, a lighter brown. Not looking red. Two different words. All right. And said which we call white. Well, we started calling them white in 1681, 1613. And that's something that creation of East that the Caucasians made up. All right. So it's either you're a red person or you're a black person. All right. So what was Adam? All right. Now, he's right. Both of these races are sprung from Adam. All right. And the first, say, red man was Cain, and then Esau, which is Esau. It tells you Esau. Oh man. The first came out red, all over like a hairy garment, and they called his name Esau. All right. Yeah, call his name right over like a hairy. So Esau. They admit that they're red people. All right. So who looks like the red people? The little hats, the guys that wear the little hats that worship the Talmud, they're red. All right. For the main part, you got some of them that they're mixed with the different nations, and you have our people scattered amongst them also. But the core of them is what? Red. All right, and they created white in 1681, 1613, and probably before that. But it was in law in 1681. All right. Because it was because it was used to, this is one of the reasons why, because it was used to stop interracial marriages. All right. All right, so I think that's pretty much got the information out that I intended to get out, and hope you're edified. Shalom.